What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode, and today is the morning of the Yorke Peninsula Classic 2021. It's my third comp ever, so this time I've actually got a plan. Probably going to head to the shallows at the start and try and pick up most of those shallow water species. And right now the water is looking very beautiful and very flat, so hopefully it stays that way. But currently just got up, having breakfast over here, joined by the legendary Rob Torelli, 10-time national spearfishing champion. Do you have any tips for someone who's competing for the first time?
Just to not give up and really try your best. I mean, cover as much ground as you can.
Yep.
This area is, we know there's not going to be a lot of fish coming in, so you know, your fortune can change fairly quickly. Just move around. If you get one or two here, one or two there, you do well. If you get a fish today, you're going to do well.
Yeah.
Looks like there's going to be 50 divers in the water.
Yeah.
So yeah, just try and get out on your own and give it your best shot.
Awesome. So we're gonna get going to the comp zone and then we'll see you there.
Hello.
Reigning champ. Any words?
Well, it's going to be a tough one today.
Big turnout.
G'day everyone, I'm Todd. Basically, welcome to 2021 Yorke's Classic.
So before the comp started, we had a quick debrief and went over everything. But basically, the rules were, we were given a very select and sustainable list of fish species and had 6 hours in the water to try and tick off as many as possible. And any other fish shot that weren't on the species list would result in disqualification. Here we go, guys. Finally ready. Let's go get some fish. So as you can already tell, I was ready from the get-go and was on a mission to redeem myself from last year's Yorke's Classic performance. So not even a minute into the dive, I was greeted by a school of garfish. So of course, took one. I continued to stick to my game plan of hanging in the shallows, and soon came across a nice school of King George whiting cruising around. Unfortunately, they were sitting just outside of my shooting range, and it seemed as if they weren't going to come any closer. So after a few minutes of stalking them, I began to get impatient, and was worried the school was going to spook since there were so many other divers around. So I decided to take a long shot at one of them. A few moments later, I came across a few resting. I wasn't too worried, as I knew that they'd still be hanging around. And they were, as I managed to relocate the school and had another chance to redeem myself. So once again, I slowly and quietly approached the school and lined up my shot. That's alright, I reassured myself, as my shot thankfully didn't spook the school too much, and I could still see the school nearby. So I quickly reloaded my gun and swam over to the whiting, lighting up my shot once again. So this time the school spooked, and that wasn't alright. However, the show must go on. And a couple minutes later, I spotted the snook, just chilling, barely moving. So I took aim and... So good news, a few minutes later, I came across another snook, and this one, I wasn't going to let go. So as you can imagine, I was so relieved after finally landing a fish. Anyway, I relocated the school of whiting for what felt like the billionth time that day. And to no surprise, I freaking missed again. I seriously didn't understand how I could hit a garfish, but yet couldn't hit a whiting. I was so frustrated at the time, but I knew I had to keep going. So I found the whiting again, this was seriously getting ridiculous.
Alright, missed enough shots. Next shot, I'm gonna hit this stupid King George Whiting. Oh my gosh, okay. Stay calm, Ethan, you got this. Whew.
So I reckon the King George White had begun to feel sorry for me, as moments later I came across this guy, which had obviously decided to take one for the team and offer himself as a sacrifice for me.
That took way too long, but got there in the end. Got my freaking King George Whiting. Alright, so got a King George, a snook, and a garfish. I doubt you can see it in there, but it's in there. Okay, 3 species in, what's the time? 8:55, so just in 45 minutes got 3 species, so hopefully I can keep it up, but
Oh man, I was feeling so much better after that, and went on to shoot this little squid, which I thought was bigger at the time. Nonetheless, it was another species ticked off. So I decided to venture out a bit deeper in search of some sweep or salmon, but unfortunately I didn't come across much, apart from this cool looking jellyfish and a small skittish cray.
where are all the fish? So it's currently 10 o'clock. It's been about an hour since I last saw a fish of the species list, which was the little squid, but squid's a squid. Haven't really seen much around. Went out deep, hoping to find some sweet, but couldn't see any, so back in the shallows now. I've got to go along this coastline, see if I could pick up, I don't know, flathead would be nice, but whatever comes my way, I'll keep you guys posted.
But once again, I didn't see anything worth shooting. So I headed out deeper again, and like before, I wasn't seeing much fish life. So decided to grab some scallops instead, because I don't often see them or target them. So whenever I do, I never hesitate to grab a few, as I absolutely love eating them. Especially raw, as I find they taste a lot sweeter. I just really wish they got bigger here in South Australia. There were a few legal sized abalone around too, so I grabbed them on the next dive. So one thing to be careful of when grabbing scallops is actually making sure there's a scallop inside, as I know people who have taken scallops home only to find a blue ring octopus living inside the shell. So I finally came across a sweep which looked legal, so of course I shot it. Unfortunately, I shot it a bit too low and it came off. I made sure though to keep an eye on it and saw that I had swum underneath the ledge. So I quickly reloaded my gun and headed down to have a look and see if I could reshoot it. So after that, I managed to upsize from my baby squid.
So it's been 4 hours now, just to 12 o'clock. Managed to get my sweep in the end and upsizing my squid to one that's slightly bigger. I'm gonna probably start now heading back to the sign in because it's fair way away. I don't know if you can see it. The car's over there. So it's gonna be a long swim, but hopefully on the way back, maybe come across a school of salmon or pick up some mullet.
Even better, I came across this flatty and there was no way I was going to miss it.
Yes! So a bit of an update. Got currently 6 species. Hopefully this sweep goes. Pretty sure it is, 24 centimeters. Just got the flatty, got the snook at the start. couple abs, like scallops, whiting, oh, little squid trying to eat my muesli bar, but I got a bigger one. I think the head might have fallen off though, or not yet. Yeah, look at these two little ones. After that, I made my way back in to sign off and weigh in my catch.
Okay. Not bad. Snook. Let's see how that goes. 295 for the snook. 415 for the King George whiting. 85 for the garp. 565 for the sand flathead. 250 grams for the sea sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the other one's even smaller.
Okay. Sweet best of two.
No, don't bother with the other one. That was just in case the head fell off.
90 grams for the squid number one. Okay, so Ethan has finished with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 species.
In third place, just sniffing out Jack, was Todd Trenorden. Now just quickly before I get on to second place, lots of people often ask experienced spearfishers what it takes to be a good spearfisher, and the score that second place scored today was quite remarkable for somebody who's been spearfishing less than 2 years, and that goes to Ethan Yeo. Congrats, mate. So in answer to anyone's question, what does it take to be a good spearfisher? Spearfishing 300 days a year will get you second. First place in the York Peninsula Classic, and the 2021 champion is Liam Baines.
On your Liam!
He proved he's the best spearer in SA.